AVID investors here in the room and on Zoom, thank you so much for attending our feature presentation tonight. We have Donato, the newest assessor on the team, who's taking Dan's job. Let me start over. AVID investors, thank you for attending the presentation. We have Dan Curtis, a residential appraiser, Donato Guerrera, and then we also have Ron, and how do you say your last name? DeRoost, who is the commercial appraiser. And these three gentlemen have helped educate us on what we need to know about our appeals process. Let's start with the thing we didn't really beat to death this time, but we talk about every year, your appeals. You like to say, Dan, that the appeals come around the holidays, right? Memorial Day, the assessment notices. We're going to get them around the holidays. It always comes around the holidays after Memorial Day weekend. When you get that notice, look at the appraiser's name on the top right and look at the value. And if you think the value is off, the informal appeals process has been highly effective in Ada County. Bobby, I had the best client, one of the best client gifts ever. Someone brought me this basket. It was so nice because I saved them a lot of value on their assessed value because of the appeal that we put together just by comps. So you may need to consult your real estate agent and get their help on it because we have access to the MLS sales data and comps, and that's a service after the sale sort of thing that good agents will help you with, that we will help you with, us at Swope Investment Properties. So do it fast, do it informally, base it on sales data. And we know some of the ins and outs that these guys have been so helpful in coaching us over the years in how to make a strong appeal. It never matters how much it went up. It just, we got to get it within 10% of accuracy. And also, as Bobby pointed out, these guys have really done an amazing job bringing our values within about 10% of accuracy. So if yours is not within 10% of accurate numbers, that's when you need to give me a call, ask me for some help, or hire an appraiser, or do your thing. Informal, fast.
If you do need to do an appeal, you want to do a formal appeal, you have to do it by June 26th of this year, the fourth Monday of June every year, June 26th.
The formal appeal is a deadline, it's statutory, and but let's do that informal appeal before that, because the informal appeal process, once
the assessment notices go out, you can make that bulk up.
Do it right away. Okay, and then Donato was kind enough to say some great things. When we adjust those comps for you, we're going to be using a negative 1.63% a month, which is the downward trend that they reported in single family homes. But didn't you say it appears it's stabilizing at this time in Q2?
Yes, as we're getting through Q1. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it looks like.
Let me give some update to that. In the first quarter of 2022, or the last quarter of 2021 and first quarter of 2022, we are still seeing appreciation in the market. So we didn't reach that inflection point in 2022 until mid-May of this year. So we were still seeing appreciation in the market for the first quarter of last year and didn't start seeing that level of decrease until May of 2022. So as you look, if you're thinking of using that time adjustment in attempting to reach a reflection market value as of the first of the year, know that we have appreciation that occurred in the first quarter that hadn't been realized if you're addressing it in such a manner.
And that value is January 1st.
Right. And on top of that, while 1.63 is a number that might be generalized as it relates to the county, all property types are different, all demographics are different. And that inflection point may move slightly between probably the month of May through the latter part of July. So use it as a number to start with, but certainly the appraiser relative to your area will have some more specific information.
The best way to avoid having to make all these adjustments is always to use those sales that are close to that lien date. So January 1st, 2023 is the date that you want to use. Any sale before that, as close as you can get it to January 1st, 2023.
And I've received that feedback when I've helped people make some appeals. They get less comfortable the further you get away.
Yep.
And then in the residential income property, we've had an uptrend of 0.84% a month.
So this
Or
is
0.84%
so multifamily, so
a month.
four plexes and less, triplexes and duplexes.
2 to 4
Yep.
units, 0.84. So our residential income values have held a little bit more than our single family homes. And then once we got to Ron's presentation, we learned that we were at, I've got too many notes here, but you said
I'm about 12%, so it'd be roughly 1% per month.
1% a month. So 12% is what we expect our assessed values for our 5+ units might go up this year. And they're seeing, Ron is reporting rents going up a little bit and those assessed values going up. They're still building in Boise. We're still adding units. Cap rates are still compressing here. We're at about 4.5%. Ron reports, and that seems pretty in line with a lot of the data that I was reporting. Buyers right this second are a little bit more tentative, but nationally they're at around 5. So we're a little bit lagging compared to national. Expenses they're using around $3,000 to $4,500 per unit. And I think it was Donato who talked about it's getting a little bit cheaper to rent right now than to buy based on some certain data, which could help support renters wanting to rent. For one thing. I think.
Unless you're able to put down 20%, 10% to lower that monthly payment, yeah.
Mhm. So affordability and accessibility is part of the story. Our immigration has decreased a little bit. And what else? What was the big thing here? Anything else on the big thing?
I would say, individual, single family houses, your assessments will most likely go down a little bit this year. But the commercial stuff's gonna go up a little bit.
So if your assessed value isn't going down a little bit on your single family home, that might be a little trigger to look at it. Commercially, it's going up a little bit. And we're still adding units, folks. What did we say? How many units last year did we add?
We added 1,337 last year, and we've got 6,249 under construction right now.
Some big wows. So thank you to our appraisal, Ada County appraiser team and the assessor, the appraisers at the Ada County assessor team. Thank you.